which it patently is.
Yeah, I think everything's good though. And we are back on, I think. Yep, we are back. So sorry about that, everybody. If you are rejoining us again, thank you so much. We just dropped out for some reason, so hopefully everything is working well with Google Hangouts here. And again, apologize for the technical difficulties. So, anyways, we were just about to continue on here with Count Arcanus, and we were just about to learn about the well-weathered Venom. Love that saber, brother.
Yes, indeed, the wonders of Google Hangouts. Yeah, this is my Saberforge Venom, which, as I was saying before, I've had this for just over a year, and it's got what at the time was the entry-level soundboard, which is the Neutrino. I'm not sure who makes the Neutrino board, to be honest, but it is a fairly basic board. It's got a kill key.
Neutrino version 1.0
in it, and single color, red LED, unsurprisingly, and it it has some basic sort of features to it. It doesn't have the flash on clash that a lot of the more expensive boards have. There it goes, and pretty bright. It's got a obviously red blade. This is the stock font that comes on the Neutrino. It's a very sort of growly, sort of guttural sound, as you can hear, which of course suits the red blade perfectly, and obviously the styling of the saber. It has your basic sort of swings, a couple of different clash sounds. As I say, it doesn't have lockup or flash and clash or anything like that, which is a shame, but again, it is intended to be a fairly sort of entry-level board. Pretty solid, pretty sturdy. Has a nice sound. It's nice and loud. I like this. I have heard boards that are louder than this, setups that are louder than this, but this one does the job quite nicely. One of the fun things has quite a fun little sort of fade off, fade on thing as well. One of the fun things about this is a lot of the more expensive boards, the higher end boards, you kind of hook them up to the computer to change things. This is all just in the saber. So really, all you have to do is you hold the button down.
Main menu, illumination disabled. Select optical intensity.
And then what it does is it gives you options for what you can do with it. So, for example,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You kind of scroll through. When you find the setting you want,
select optical frequency 1.
You hold the button down. Now 1, as you can see, is a solid color. One of the nice sort of little Easter eggs with this board is you can actually set a blade flicker.
2.
Now, again, how much my camera is going to pick this up is debatable.
3.
But it actually flickers,
4.
and you can set it to different things.
5.
The higher up the number you go, the faster it flickers.
1.
And then which is what I usually have it set on, is the solid color.
Select sound intensity 1.
And you have a couple of different volume settings, 1
2.
and 2.
1, 2.
I usually set it on 2.
Select impact sensitivity 1.
Now this is basically, when you clash it, it's how sensitive it is to clashes. So you can go from 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 1.
To be fair, I usually have it on
Select motion
1.
sensitivity 1.
This is your swing sensitivity. Same idea.
2, 3, 4, 5, 1.
Again, I set it on 1.
All settings saved.
And the sound comes back on. As you can see, even with 1, it's fairly mad. So I've tried it on some of the higher settings. It's utterly crazy. A bit, little bit like Master Nero's Jason Solo. It'll swing when it's stood still. It's a bit crazy. So it's definitely better to have it on the lower settings. You don't really need it on the higher settings particularly, but it's nice to have everything in in the saber, and so you're not messing around with USB cables and all that business. But it does mean that you've just got the one font that is in the hilt. But yeah, that's just a quick overview of the Neutrino board.
Oh, excellent. Well, that's pretty cool. That's for what it is though. It sounds awesome, and yeah, I thought you could modify it, but nope. I learned something tonight. Very cool. So moving on, and why nobody else talked about it, because it's the only type of soundboard that I actually have right now. This is this right here is an Ultra Saber's Guardian. I'm going to show the Obsidian soundboard, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I actually have my overlords right here. Normally it's in the saber hilt and usable, but the Obsidian soundboard is it's kind of how big they are, an inch wide and a couple inches long. It's the soundboard that Ultra Sabers uses, and it has a USB connection right there, so it allows you to change the settings and the Soundfonts with a USB connection and some software that you must use to do that. So the Obsidian, you can also change the volume, just like you said, but all of those settings are all built into the software. Once you get it on the Saber, it's basically yours to use until you change it again using the software. So I'm demonstrating right here. This is my own font actually. This is what I call Kit Fisto. Don't know why I called it Kit Fisto. Somebody asked me for a Kit Fisto themed font, so I thought, what the heck, why not? Let's do this. I basically wanted a Jedi hum. Kit Fisto, help me out. He's a Nautilus?
Yeah, Northland.
Cool. So yes, obviously he's from a marine environment. Couldn't think of a way to incorporate that in there, so I just decided to make it kind of a lighter pitched sound. Yeah, same font. So it has what I just because of the way what I like to do with TPLA, I like to fighting. So I wanted quick clashes against other lightsabers, so that the clashes are same with the swings. Quick swings, quick. Yeah, I wanted this to work with Form 2 Makashi and not be long, broad swings. So I did that. And the locker. It's this flicker between silver and green. Of course, near impossible to see on a camera, but same with the blue here. Easy to see it. So maybe we can get some binaural action happening here. Got to phase in and out at some point so you can see it. Yeah, being the same sound, you kind of get stereo. So, yeah, 7:30. We'll have time to fix that tonight. Oh, yeah, and of course the power down. standard power down. So yeah, the Obsidian, of course, there are, I think, what, 6 or 7 fonts offered by default with an Ultra Saber. If you go to Saber Forum, there are, I would say, over 30, 35, 40 fonts that have been made and put on the site, free to download for Obsidian. They're already specified for LSU. Some of them actually contain the WAV files that you can change the bitrate for other sabers, but you'll mainly find the LSU files that are suitable for the Obsidian soundboard here. So, but if you go to saberforum.com in the Obsidian section, this is what my YouTube channel's reviews are mainly based on. Really, are those free sound fonts that you can download. So yeah, check it out. There are way more. Most of them are awesome. Just to let you know, so you can pick and choose between them. You don't always have to put the same set on. You can say like what Jared was saying earlier. He likes the Return of the Jedi, but with Luke. But say you wanted the Empire Strikes Back startup sound for the lightsaber. I know he would want the Luke's snap, hiss, green flame. But anyway, let's just hypothetically go there, and what you can do is use the startup font from the one, and then the rest of the font set from another font, I guess. Keep it general. So the possibilities are quite endless, except for the amount of space that you can hold. So yeah, the Obsidian basically has flash memory on board. You plug it in, you change the settings, off you go. There are other soundboards out there, it is worth mentioning, that use micro SD cards, which means you pop the little tiny micro SD card out. So awesome. I mean, you just you don't have to plug in the USB cord to the board every time, which I don't mind doing. I'm used to it, but it'd be much easier to pull out an SD card. But anyway, that's not what I get to do. Yep. Anyway, USB works for me. But yeah, it would be much easier to modify things that way. Other sabers come with what's known as a rice port, where it's like an 1/8-inch audio jack, sort of, and you plug in a cable, which basically is a USB cable, and you connect that to your computer, and then use the software to change. I don't know if you can change the sound fonts particularly. Yeah, you probably can, and the colors as well in a lot of cases too. So, yep, if your Saber does come with software, definitely plug it in and check it out, because you'll get the most out of it that way. So, right, Jared also mentioned earlier, basically gave us the synopsis of our show, which is awesome. He talked about how your sound fonts are basically your fingerprints. There are really no wrong answers to these sound fonts. Let's see, I do have sound fonts installed on my my computer right here. What I'm going to do is mute my camera. Actually, give me a second here, fellas. Fellas, Gary. Sorry. Just going to get my second camera operating here, and then what we'll do is we'll just do a trade-off. Just going to do a quick run-through of what else you can do with sound fonts. Go to my drive here and open up these sound fonts. Yeah, okay. So I have 58 items in this folder. Just to let you know, there are a plethora of sound fonts to choose from. I'm going to activate my camera here. Okay, yeah, so just wanted to mute my microphone there. And then what I can do is move this up a little bit. For perfection. Okay, so now you're looking at me, looking at me. And Kind of silly, but it'll work. Anyway, I'm just going to open up a few sound fonts here. Just close everything there. You can stare at my cat. There's good. Okay, so let's see. We'll just go and peruse some fonts here. Gonna get one of these Obsidian launchers open so I can at least hear what's going on. So we're just going to do a tour of a few of these things. Sorry, folks. Obsidian Soundfonts. There we go. Okay, so let's see. We'll give some props to Ninja Jesus here. We'll go to the episode 3 font. So as you notice with Jared's sabers, he has an auxiliary button on that saber, on a couple of those sabers that have blaster blocking, which you can actually get sound fonts for. Repeater rifle, not bad. So, right, I digress. Also with your saber, if you have a recharge port with a kill key, what will happen is you can notice that you take the battery out and the saber loses its power. Or with a recharge port, you put the kill key in and the same thing happens. It's like taking a battery out. You cut the power off of the saber. But when you pull it out, the soundboard once again receives electricity from the batteries and you get what's known as a boot up. And if all is well with your saber, and you reconnect the electricity, you get what's known as the boot up sound. And on this episode 3 here, we have four boot up sounds to choose from.
Learn to know the dark side of Force, and you will achieve a power greater than any Jedi.
Yeah, that's what your lightsaber does when you plug in the batteries. It's pretty cool. Another example.
Do not hesitate. Show no mercy.
Yeah. A couple Sidious quotes there.
Twisted by the dark side, young Skywalker.
Bermuda? Oh, what the heck. There's only 4 of them. Let's hear the 4th one. Somebody out there twisted my rubber arm.
Yes, Master. Right.
Right, so those are the boot sounds. So when you turn your saber on, the first thing that happens, of course, is the power on. So you have that startup sound, that famous Ben Burtt sound. Ben Burtt did all of the lightsaber sounds for the Star Wars trilogies. All of these sounds were inspired by him. Let's just give credit where credit is due here. So props to Ben Burtt for being an awesome sound innovator. Anyway, this is what's been inspired by it. That's just the classic startup sound. As Ninja Jesus shows here with his episode 3 font, he gives you a couple options just in case you don't like that one, or you would prefer a different one. That one's a little bit longer and more drawn out. That one's a little bit quicker going on. So you can tweak your tastes. Once everything starts up, you get your hum. In this case, we have 1 hum, so it sounds like this. The Facebook thing in the middle. So what your lightsaber will do is it'll just loop that audio track until you do something. Say you swing it, you get your swing sounds. There they are, really quickly. If you hit something, your saber will randomize up your clash sounds. Anyway, just a few examples there. So you get into saber-to-saber contact, and you decide to press the lockup button. Never gets old. And finally, there's another lockup for you. Cool. Alright, and then you're done locking up, you destroy your enemy, now you gotta power your saber off. So this one here has 3 power-offs. Nice and quick. A little bit more drawn out. Different style altogether. So that's and then what you do is you notice your saber has your I don't know if you can see this properly. Yep. Your saber has the settings right here. I don't have a saber plugged in right now, but when you do these become active, you bring your saber individual items over to what you need to do, and once all of the slots are loaded, you go to your soundboard and you write the sound files, which is just up there. Just click on it. There, I don't know. It's a terrible webcam shot. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching, but it's horrible. Why didn't anybody tell me it was so bad? All right, there we go. So, yeah, you can't even see it because it's grayed out, but write sound files is right there. Anyway, let's move on a little bit here. All right, so I'm just going to close this down. We'll go back to our regularly scheduled program up here. Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. So, yeah, Gary, do you have any questions about that?
No, it's to be honest, I mean, I have an Obsidian board myself in my Scorpion saber. It's not something, because I'm a little bit timid, I guess, when it comes to sort of technology and these kind of things. So it's not something I've really played with a great deal. I mean, I have gone through, various different things, looked at different sound fonts that are available. There are, as you were saying before, I mean, there are an absolutely huge number of them. Everything ranging from sort of Sidious-style fonts to Dooku-style fonts to various sort of Jedi ones. Obviously, with the popularity of things like the Force Unleashed computer games, there's a plethora of Dark Apprentice, Starkiller type fonts as well. So there's a huge amount of stuff you can do, and you as both yourself and Jared were saying earlier on, you can obviously mix and match them. So if you have a particular preference for fast swings or slower swings, or or lockups with particular sort of sounds in them, Force Lightning in lockups seems to be quite popular. You can do pretty much whatever you want with them, which is is a kind of a fun thing. I think if I was to ask sort of questions about this, I mean, what would you say the sort of things to watch out for, pitfalls are when you're writing fonts to the Obsidian board?
Definitely. So with an Obsidian board, rule number 1 is always stuff charged batteries in there. The Obsidian board can take a fair hit of juice. I mean, we're running 7.4 setups, aren't we? 2, 3, 4, yeah, 7.4. Not too shabby. But with the LED burning a lot, and say your batteries are half drained, it could take a little bit of time to get the font actually on the saber. So if your battery's drained to the point where it's just not quite strong enough, it you could actually damage the electronics. I would say that if your soundboard doesn't have a micro SD card, that would be the same issue that you might face. But most of the time, you just pop out the SD card, modify it on your computer at your own time, or even elsewhere from your saber, which is kind of cool. But yeah, there's that, and yeah, there's you have to, if you have an Obsidian board, you have to go to Saber Forum. There is a set order of procedures to get the saber connected to your computer. Once you get it down once, it's like riding a bike. You never forget it. And when you do, it's like, oh yeah, sorry, turn the saber on, then plug it in, then turn the program on. No problem. So just a couple things to look out for, but there are instructions. If you're going to buy an LED lightsaber like this, hit the forum. I mean, get the information that you need. Find out about these things, because it's not just like going to Toys R Us and picking up a even a nice $50 replica with an LED light strip in it. That's breaks on the first impact, but for a kid, it's awesome. Sounds not too shabby on it either. On the other hand, yeah, I kind of like the fact that I have a sound font that I sourced with open source sounds from the internet, threw it in Audacity, and Audacity, what is that, you say? Well, let me show you here. Audacity is a program that you can use. I'm just going to switch cameras here. Yeah, I'll do it that way. That's cool. Audacity is right here. It is a, yeah, Audacity is a free-to-use program. You go type in Audacity, that's A-U-D-A-C-I-T-Y. And, you know, it's been made by, yeah, the Audacity support team, SourceForge. It's fully open source. So, again, we like that kind of thing here. And what Audacity allows you to do is to manipulate sound files. So, what I'm going to do here quickly, in the brief amount, in 10 minutes, okay, challenge accepted. I have to do this in 10 minutes here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to modify the Kitfisto theme, or the Kitfisto themed font, and I'm going to make it a little bit more dark side-ish. We're gonna have a little fun with this. So, the first thing that we need to do is, let's start with the hum. All I'm going to do is drop this in. Oh yeah, I got to import this. Of course. I don't have the, oops, it's raw data. Sorry, import raw data. I don't know if you can see that. And then I have this on the desktop. Here we go, and we'll go to the hum. And this is what we want. We want 16-bit, we want mono, and if this is good, this is good. All right. Get her done. So let's take a listen. Alright, so that's the hum. First thing we do is we select all, and I am going to simply drop this down in pitch. I'm going to change the pitch. I'm going to go down. Here's where we get to have a little bit of fun. Let's just do it this way. It sounds like a duck flatulating. Let's keep trying here. Like a helicopter. Sounds a little sluggish. Let's try just down 2 little points here. Okay. Happy medium at 3. Let's take it. Alright, so. I know it seems kind of simple. I'm just going to exaggerate it, actually. Let's just exaggerate it. So I'm going to undo that. Whammo. There's the original. And then we'll change pitch down 4. Let's live dangerously. Yeah. Okay, that's good. I like it. Next thing we do is I know that my Obsidian board likes 48 hertz, 4800 hertz. Likes it mono and 16-bit. Next, we export it as a wave. Put a new folder. Dark side. Recut. Let's do this. Right. Hey. Now, let's see. We got 8 minutes here. Okay. Kill that. Next, I'm going to do the boot. I don't care. I'm going to have to import them all, aren't I? Next, Clash. Let's just do the Clash. It's good. Excellent. Modify this already. Oh yeah. Yeah, Gary, feel free to put in some nice commentary if you wish.
One thing that did occur to me actually, that while you're searching for what you're going to be changing, do you think it's worth pointing out that if you're putting together your own sound font and you're adjusting things, would you say you'd want to, if you've got a set of sounds you're altering, would you want to say you're dropping the pitch of them, drop them by the same amount, so that you get a kind of a consistent sound from hum to swing to clash?
It's funny you should mention that, my friend, because what I'm doing right now is I'm importing the raw data. Again, I have to do it that way. That's okay. So what I do is I import it, I select the whole thing, and the next thing we do is, instead of just going Effect, Change Pitch, and doing it again, I can just hit Control R, which is Repeat, Change Pitch. It does exactly what you did the last time. You can simply export it. Clash to recut. Cool. All right. So exactly right. If you do it to one, you really should do it to all of them, because consistency. If you're inconsistent, I've noticed it really does show through on the when you do have it on the Sabre. The Sabre is very unforgiving. It's a tiny little speaker. It really brings out the clicks and pops if you don't make a loopable, if you will. It's like high definition television. The Makeup Guild people really got up in arms about that, because they couldn't BS their way through TV episodes anymore, because high def showed off just how you could see the spirit glue on people. They had to do a good job on all of the scenes. So same with this. The more time you spend on it, the better sound you're going to get. I've just done the clashes here. I'm just going to do 7 clashes. I don't care. We're not going to do the whole thing. I'll do it later. So select everything. We're just going to repeat this change pitch. I'll just get the base files. That'll give us hopefully enough time. I doubt we'll be able to get it on a Sabre, because that usually takes upwards of 15 to 20 minutes. But anyway, let's just leave it at that. I'll just export this wave here. We need the proper setting. There we go. Very good. Cool. I've always been meaning to do this anyway. So, yeah, let's just get out of Audacity here. You've changed, yep, no, just go ahead. And then here are my WAV files. I don't know if you can see that up here.
Can you lock it on the cam that's on your screen?
Oh, good idea. Yeah, I talk and that'll change. Oh, doesn't matter. I talk, it switches anyway. Lovely. Alright, sorry guys. Here. So I have WAV files. There we go. What I'm going to do is quickly throw up the LSU converter here. The LSU is the converter here is what Ultra Sabres gives you to convert your sound fonts to LSU, which is lightsaber something. I used to know. Not really that important anyway. And users. Alright guys, I'm a little doing too many things at once here. There we go, desktop. Here we go. And yeah, so the LSU is a proprietary compression that the Soundfonts use for Ultra Sabres and the Obsidian. Dark side. Here we go. So what we will do is this. I don't know if you can even see this, but I'm just going to select them all, and it's as easy as going mono 48K 16-bit. What did I do? Did I not mono? No, it worked. But I went too quickly on a couple of them, I see. And those error messages are important because, as you can see, Clash 2 was not done. So Clash 1 was not done. So I would have to do that again. And Clash 3. So those two I screwed up. But we have the LSU files here. What we'll do is we'll get the launcher back open here. And to my desktop. Neat, it'll only show you the LSU files. Menacing. And there's the original. So, simply by lowering it 4 pitches chromatically in Audacity. Anyway, I'm just going to mute myself here. Do I have a bat in the cave? Sorry about this. Okay. Oh, anyway, so that's yeah. Once you and you can record these things using a microphone, anything. You can use a synthesizer and just mess with sounds and add all sorts of effects to them. You can pull clips off of movies. You can put music on these things. Yes, you can. Anyways, it's been done. Wasn't going to demonstrate that because we're, you know, A, we're out of time right now, and B, well, we'll just cut to the chase here and say you can do anything you want with those sound fonts, but what you put on your saber is ultimately up to you, and you know, take your time with it. Pick what you like. Most of us are using stunt sabers, which means soundboardless sabers, or just light and hilt. But if you do use a saber with sound in it, by all means personalize it, because just because you can. Yeah, and hit us up in the Exile forum, or even just below if you have any questions about sound fonts or anything else. Yeah, so on Gary, do you have any last minute words? Again?
No, I think, you know, I mean, I think it's really the only limit is your own sort of creativity. But the point you made earlier on, I think, is worth reiterating, which is, in a sense, the more time you take in creating your sounds and getting them exactly the way you want, and making them match up, the better that's going to work on your saber, and the more effective it's going to be.
Absolutely, you'll just get more out of the experience. Oh, and one last minute thing here. John Villeneuve on our Q&A posted a question probably earlier. Right here. So he asks, I have a stunt saber from Ultra Sabers. Could a soundboard be installed in one of those, or would it have to depend on the hilt? Very quickly, if you have a V2 Ultra Saber, it can take smaller soundboards, Econo boards. If you have a V3 hilt, then it will take most of the soundboards, if not all of them that are out there. Sky's the limit, basically. But the Obsidian boards only go in the V3s, John. Hope that answers your question. So thanks for asking it, by the way. And yeah, if you see the Q&As on the side here, that means we want you to ask us stuff, whether it's me or whether it's Master Anonymous hosting the show. But anyway, on behalf of Master Anonymous and TPLA, we would like to thank you for joining us tonight. Again, if you do have any questions, you can always drop by our Facebook group. You can catch us on the Imperial Royal Arms. We have a forum there as well, and yeah, just Google TPLA, Terra Prime Lightsaber Academy, if you're looking to hook up with us. So or connect. Anyway, on behalf of TPLA, thank you again, Darth. Darth, that's your outside of this organization name. Count Arcanus. Sorry, buddy. And thanks for watching again, and may the Force be with you. Happy sabering. Enjoy those fonts.